Gods and goddesses in training, welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara, all relations. Let's get started today. I'm feeling a lot better, man. I'm starting to heal. You can hear the difference in my voice. Let's get real today, okay? I'm going to talk about the Primal Sutra way of healing your mother wound, okay? This is for men and women, okay? The priest and priestess beasts. Let's get tapped in and get started today. First of all, big thanks to my actual mother. Though she had her issues just like all parents, you know, she still helped me, guided me in a lot of different ways, made me the smart man that I am today. So thank you for that, mom, okay? Or ma, I should say. Let's get real though. Healing your mother wound is not about fixing them, blaming them, or even worshiping them. It's about reclaiming the lost parts of yourself that got shaped by their behaviors, either from their presence or from their absence. So that means for us as Primal Sutra, we've got to establish that there was a shadow and a golden shadow in regards to the mother wound. Now, mother wound isn't like a psychological term. It's just like a term that pop psychology uses to describe the issues you might have, mommy issues, right? It's interesting because the two sides of the coin that you see, and this is from Madhu Siddhana, he said the simp and the fuck boy, right, are on two sides of the same coin. The simp is the one that had a taskmaster for the mother, and so now he just wants to get demoralized by women in that dynamic later on in the years, being a simp. And the fuck boy, of course, is the one who learned to ignore the mother's yapping, right? That's kind of the difference between the two. But both are kind of sidetracked and skewed in my personal opinion and perspective, okay? So in this video today, we're going to be using a lot of mind, body, spirit approaches, okay? Not the generic, like, okay, just journal about it and just, you know, all that stuff. So men fall into these two patterns. Maybe you might have observed this within your friends too, okay? Number one is like the soft boy, okay? Overly attached, looking for mommy and partners, really struggles to set boundaries. Like super yin energy, okay? Like super yin, okay? This guy could probably pull off being a girl, okay? That's the level of the soft boy. The other side of this, however, is like the stoic ice king. He mistrusts women, he avoids vulnerability, just closes up the shop, closes down the wall, remains silent, stone walls, cut off from emotions, and constantly just dismisses the feminine. Men going their own way, okay? These kind of guys. So these are both coming from trauma. That's the number one thing we got to understand. So I want to speak to the men first, and then I'll speak to you ladies, okay? Number one for the guys is you want to reclaim your masculine power again, okay? Start lifting some heavy shit. Get your body strong. Get your body strong. Physically strong. Like you can fight. That you can protect yourself, that you can protect others. Your nervous system needs to experience a separateness from that maternal grip, and it's got to come out through this rage that you're expressing through your body, okay? So when you can access that through your body, you're going to feel dangerous. You're going to feel like you're challenging yourself, and you're going to slowly step out of that paradigm. Hey, slow and steady wins the race. You gotta slow down to speed up, okay? The next thing for guys, you gotta look from it from the highest perspective. So you gotta rewire the inner narrative that you keep telling yourself. It's not that I didn't get what I needed from her. It's that you are your own man now and you give yourself what you need. It's as simple as that. One thing that I like to do is just imagining almost like a mother meditation. I have an anima meditation for the adepts as well, for the mother wound specifically. So if you want, join the program, I can send it to you. Or you can just purchase it if you don't want to be an adept, that's fine. Just send me a message, just be like, I need the mother wound meditation, okay? So visualize your mother at different ages. And like she's a small child, she's growing up, maybe she's in high school, then she's growing older, then she's meeting your dad, then she's going through the process. Like when you do this, you stop looking at her for that one chapter or that one moment of resentment or anger that you felt. You see the entire storyline. And once you see it all, then you have some compassion, then you stop blaming her for everything. You start seeing that the factors that made her who she was is actually such a profound and unique journey. And you're going to stop judging her less because you're going to see all of it. The next thing I would say is seek out challenges and ritualize them. A lot of the reason why boys don't become men is they're not initiated. In a lot of the old cultural tribes, they used to have initiations where they would take boys out of the tribe. They would make them tough. They would do something that would start to change the dimensions of their mind. And they started to come out on the other side of this adventure feeling tough, feeling like a man. The next thing I want you to do as a man is to trace it back to every time that you got annoyed at a woman. Every time that you started to react emotionally towards your partner or something like this. Just ask yourself, what are you projecting onto her, my friend? Once you heal that, hey, you're out of that feminine control loop. I'll tell you a story in my own life. I had two big traumas which actually shaped my understandings of women later on in life. So one was a factor that this woman had questioned what was the color of an apple, and I questioned her back, do you mean the inside of the apple or the outside? And she hit me with a ruler on my wrist, like corporal punishment, right? This is India. So there was another time where the principal, also a woman, made us dress up like a girl, okay? Me and this other guy, or shout out Russell Vincent, to dress up like a girl in front of the assembly with little pigtails and things, be completely humiliated and embarrassed in front of all of these people. So these two memories, of course, they're there in my subconscious mind. I've had to change my understanding of these events. I've had to forgive those women, those teachers in my own mind, right? I had to take back my own self-love again, my self-worth again. And this is not a selfishness, this is a self-admiration. You want to get to the point where you really admire yourself, where you really respect yourself. The most important thing for you to do, whether you're a man or a woman, when it comes down to the mother wound, is to forgive your mother. Forgive her. Forgive her. Say to your mother, you made me into a girl. The biggest thing for you to do is to forgive your mom. Forgive your mother. As difficult as it seems to do, it's actually not that bad. Just rip off the Band-Aid and do it. It's not going to be that swift or easy. You might try to mask it with humor. You might be feeling pressure to do it. Do it anyway. I've done it, so can you. It's really easy once you get past that, because then God forgives you. Shout out to Jesse Lee Peterson, man. Because once you forgive your mama, the anima, through God, then forgives you. It's powerful how this works. And this is by far the most important tip that you gotta follow on this video. Doing the mother wound for men would be to, first of all, reclaim your sovereignty. Be your own mother to you, okay, is something I would say. Like, find the feminine energy within you and really start to understand it better. And then the last part is like a sovereign control of your nervous system, okay? So like, if you can calm yourself down in these moments of stress and these moments of panic, you don't lash out, you don't get angry, but you find that groundedness, you find your center again. It might be simple, but it's not easy, okay? If it was easy, everybody would do it, okay? This is real work. So from wounded daughter to embodied goddess. Okay, let's talk to the women. Women with a mother wound usually has two sides to it. I explained to you the male side. For the women, it's the good girl archetype. The good girl archetype is just perfectionist, always overgiving, self-sacrificing to the absolute martyr level. Like, just fears disappointing others so much, but they're not doing anything wrong. Then the next one we have is the rebel queen, okay? You can't talk to me like that. Resents femininity, rejects softness, just becomes a tomboy, doesn't trust women, competes with other women, this kind of dynamic. So understand both of those polarities. Maybe you have both too. For the women, I would definitely say get into your embodiment again. Embody the primal feminine. Move, breathe, dance. Be wild in your body again. Shaking ecstatic movements, primal yelling. This kind of stuff will be great. Where you actually let yourself express your emotions without judgment. Find a space, go to an ecstatic dance class or something. Find a space where you can access this. You got to reparent the inner girl. So you got to look in the mirror, be like, I hear you, I see you, I'm not going to abandon you. Okay? You speak to yourself. Give that little girl what she needed from her mother. Now it's time for you to rewrite the feminine blueprint for you. If your mom was very controlling, you learn how to soften. You learn how to embrace your nurturing, your compassion, your feminine essence. If she was really frail and very weak and like, I can't do this, you become a strong woman. You strengthen. Because that was the opposite of that archetype, right? So sometimes you can use it as fuel. And this is what I'm telling you to do. Embody the feminine energy that you wish that you had received. This is the best success. The next thing I'd say is to work with the divine mother. For men, of course, work with the divine father energy. Okay, the holy God, the sunlight, the yang. Okay, women, I want you to tap into the yin, the Kuan Yin. Okay, or Avalokiteshvara. Tap into Isis, Tara, Mary Magdalene. Okay, Kali. All of these are just different archetypes for you to work with. Higher feminine archetypes can actually help you heal the distortions that you might have inherited from different generations. You see, you've got to close the loop now, because this has happened from your mother, but your mother's mother, and then your mother's mother's mother, and then your mother's 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 mother, okay? The last thing I would say is find a sisterhood. Find a group of women you can trust and just be with them. If you distrust women, heal it through deep female friendships, real ones. And I know this part is maybe tough, is to like take your guard down and actually start going out and doing this thing. But remember, there might have been a time in the past where the women that you actually feared became mirrors, became allies, became really good friends over time. So never just go with the judgment of what you think she is, or like labeling other women, or like calling any woman that's not modest, a whore or whatever. Like, this kind of stuff has to be modified, modulated, and understood from a completely unique and different perspective. There might be shame and all these lower valence emotions associated with this, but if you get back into really connecting with your inner animal, which is your inner goddess, even for the men, you have an inner goddess within you, right? And so you got to respect that goddess, that divine mother. You got to understand that it comes through many different ways, right? And it can actually help you to heal back into your oneness, back into your sovereignty again. So for women, create safety in the feminine. Trust softness is a superpower. It's not a weakness. The feminine style of leadership is very different. And it's also important for us to understand that as men. So women, learn how to become your own source of love. Reparent yourself. This is a universal path, okay? So father yourself, which means give yourself discipline, give yourself boundaries, protect yourself. Mother yourself, give yourself emotional care, love, nurturance. Do daily check-ins with your inner child, perhaps. Maybe you can even do belly breaths and shake out tension. You got to embrace both the healer and the warrior at the same time. One practice that's very unique to Primal Sutra is writing a letter to your mother. Mention all the good, mention all the bad, okay? Mention it all. If you're gonna blame her for the bad, you better blame her for the good too. Then just burn it, destroy it, or release it into water or something. I would also highly recommend you give yourself a second birth. I don't mean just go and do a baptism, like have a friend do it with you. It doesn't necessarily have to be a religious context. I don't mean that. But just getting into water and then coming out of water like that can really help you to end an old chapter, right? Or just end something that is this old pattern or paradigm, right? You come out and you feel reborn. You birth yourself again to sever these old ties and to be finally the sovereign embodied being that you know that you are all along. So this is the middle path of healing. You no longer idealize or demonize your mother. You respect her. She is who she is. You see her as a human, flawed and has her strengths. But so are you, yo. You're a human too. So you got to give yourself that love. Reclaim yourself. Heal beyond the trauma, beyond the conditioning, beyond the outdated stories. Because that was then, and now is now. That was then, and now is now. It's not the same time. There are different circumstances now. So learn to enjoy and evolve with that. Choose to heal, move forward like a force of nature that you know that you are, the invisible force field of that primal energy that you know that you have, that raw, unfiltered truth that's just within you all the time. Tap in, okay? You got this, we got this. Thank you for tapping in. Have an incredible rest of your day. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We're all here to win. Join the Telegram group, spiritualmasterychallenge.com. Go check it out, 5-day challenge. Let's go. Upward Spiral Gang. Let's go. Boom.